How's it going, everybody? It's Master1994 here, and today we are going to watch some Arathi Basin gameplay with me playing my Prot Warrior in Classic World of Warcraft. I'm not going to have a table of contents in this video today, mostly because my commentary is going to be just based on the gameplay, and it's also going to have some ideas that run more together. But there is going to be a link in the description to my Prot Warrior guide video, because I'm using the exact same spec here. I'm using very similar gear, still a lot of tank gear. My off pieces are all threat / DPS pieces, still have Deathbringer, and right here I almost get that blacksmith. Someone breaks the polymorph, but we win this fight here at blacksmith. And most of what we're going to see is going to be team fights at lumber mill, and especially me heckling casters and one healer in particular. There was only, that I know of, there's only one healer on the enemy team, and I made his life pretty miserable, I think. I don't know if you noticed right there. I had a regular auto attack stacked with a shield slam crit, and that was about 1200 damage. So you can still do some decent damage, burst people down a little bit. And again, there was no Hand of Justice proc there. My auto attack was not a crit, so that's super common. But most of the gameplay we're going to see is going to be here at LM. And my ideal game when it comes to Arathi Basin is farm, blacksmith, and lumber mill, and then we're just kind of floating in the middle. Though I'm sure that's probably very common knowledge. And I'm just going to stay in these fights, stay on these casters as much as I can, interrupt them, keep them from casting, stunning, CCing, all that good stuff. And that's pretty much what I'm always going to strive to do. And Druid Lord right here that just died, that's going to be the healer that we're going to see me kind of making miserable through a lot of this. So far we've really only seen very unfair team fights. We obliterated them at blacksmith and here at LM because we just had more people. But for the most part, the rest of these fights are going to show relatively even team fights. So it's kind of showing, I guess, the Prot Warrior shining a little bit. We're getting to really play. And again, I'm just going to be locking down casters as much as possible. I'm going to go in for some AoE when possible. And outside of that, I'm going to be really targeting casters. And right here, I thought we were going to need a lot more help at LM. But it's a relatively even fight. I think it's 5 versus 5 right now, maybe 4. But I'm just going to bully that lock a little bit. I already silenced him. It's funny right here. I get a killing blow with a cleave. Cleave's fun. That's funny. But then I'm going to go back to Druid Lord, and beat him up a little bit. Most of the gameplay is going to be here at LM. One thing that I notice that people just don't like to do in LM, and honestly AV too, people do not like to defend. People don't like to sit bases, and sometimes I just do it. Even though I'm a warrior, I'm not really built for it. I mean, if a mage comes by, they can cap anything on me. Rogues can, if they have blind, a rogue can cap on me pretty much always, but it's better to have at least somebody, a warrior, because I can still break sap. I've got my trinket for stuns, things like that. So I will sit base when I need to. And that's why this video is so short. I think I sat at LM for like 5 minutes at least, probably more than that. So I'm going to come head to farm and help recover this node real quick. But I wanted to take some time and talk a little bit about just awareness in general. And I actually make a mistake right here. Someone calls for LM. They say that LM is going to get capped. Right there. They're about to lose LM. I didn't see them say this. However, something I do in AB and AV a lot is I'll look at my map. Who's at nodes? What's their health like? Do they have debuff? So I see Gimped is at LM. I'm looking for him, and I see him at the top right. He's full health, but he is fighting. And then I'm looking, okay, Twix. Where's Twix at? I'm going to look for Twix, and bottom left just died. So now I know there's an issue at LM. I didn't see them call it out, but I kind of just looked at the map and realized that there was an issue there. and I'm asking about LM. We get Blacksmith. Blacksmith was clear when I showed up. So this is the next node I'm going to. And, you know, that was like a minute of no gameplay, but I kind of wanted to just show how I'm trying to stay aware all the time and looking at the map. And you've got to be vocal. You've got to be talking in chat. You've got to be looking in chat. Look at your map and ask questions. Right there, I asked if LM was okay, even though I didn't see it on the chat. I should have. They called it out, but I was asking if LM was okay because of clues based on the map and their health bars on the raid frames. So I'm back to fighting this druid. We do have quite a people here, but so did the alliance. I think it was a relatively even fight. And now I'm just making it where this druid he's not really able to do anything. So he's just sitting in bear form using, I think it's Frenzied Regeneration. I don't know if that's what it's called, but the bear form heal. So he couldn't heal his teammates, and it was over. And that's what we're going to be doing a lot. Like I said, casters in general, especially healers. So I think this kind of gameplay kind of shows that, you know, maybe Prot Warrior isn't so bad for team fights. I've been in some pre-made groups, and the fact that I was protection was actually well received. People, I kind of just explained like I'm just a giant CC chainer, still have decent damage with some of my gear. People that I play with know that I'm doing well with it. In pre-mades, even when we were fighting pre-mades, the team fights were always really successful. And it kind of goes back to this idea that I'm tanky. I can get back there and just CC chain healers. And we're going to have other warriors in our group. If it's a pre-made, we're probably going to have other warriors in the group. And they can use Mortal Strike. So we're still going to have the Mortal Strike debuff on the main target. We don't lose anything from me not having it, the Mortal Strike effect. Now, there are other pros and cons, obviously, but it seems like it's working relatively well, and I'm happy with it. So maybe I'll try to do some pre-made gameplay in general and kind of see more of this, you know, PvP content where I'm just going hard onto these casters and really just hindering certain DPS or some healers and allowing my team to just obliterate other people while I'm doing it. Very quickly, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about, you know, CCing healers, basically I've just got a lot of CC capabilities as a Prot Warrior. So my interrupt has a 3-second silence attached to it, so I can choose that to just blanket silence heal people, casters, if I want to. I don't even have to interrupt them if I don't want to. Also, I've got a 5-second stun in the form of Concussion Blow, and I have a 3-second stun. Well, my Revenge has a 45% chance to stun the target for 3 seconds, and that stun does not DR with other stuns. So you can very easily CC chain people, and it's very effective. But I've talked about that a lot in my guide video, which is again in the description below. But we just saw me kind of just charge in. One of the first people here, just guns blazing, went in, AoE spammed, just spinning the flag until backup arrives. And because I'm Prot, it's a lot harder for people to kill me, and it works very well as a flag spinner as well. We're going to see, I think, 2 more fights. Right here, yeah, right here, my healer kind of overextended. I didn't realize he was in a fight until it was too late. And then I'm just trying to recover, pretty much hold them off from capping the flag until my healer reses. And it's exactly what happened. My last stand actually really saved me here, which is not uncommon. If I keep posting videos, as I'm sure I will, with this Prot Warrior, you're going to see last stand really being the only reason I survive a lot of fights, especially if I start showing some 1v1s out in the world, because I would like to do that and kind of show some guides against specific classes. But last stand barely kept me alive here, and then my healer was able to recover and heal me to full. I even thanked him for it. So we're going to see one more team fight here, and in the last team fight I really just bully a healer, that druid. I just kind of bully him. I'm going to fear bomb him, and I don't want to break the fear bomb, so I'm kind of just sitting in place, which probably was maybe not the best move, but I wanted him CC'd, so it was okay with him. I probably should have just hit someone else for a little bit, but I wanted to keep him feared, and you're about to see that really soon. And then I'm going to stun him into a silence. By the time he's out of it, his teammates are going to be dead, and he's not really going to have an option other than to just retreat, and he kind of just gets obliterated. So here's this guy again. There's the fear bomb, and I'm gonna do that whole CC chain to him. At the very end, I barely make it out of this game alive. Barely survive. I have like a couple hundred health when the game ends because that hunter was really getting at me. But I just did my CC chain on him, and I'm going to crit him hard and then execute, and it's done. I ended the game 13-0, barely. That hunter almost got me. But I got to destroy healers and some casters, so that was cool. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.